So you try so you're doing CS. I mean, you're doing any of this LLM kind of thing. You know, this AI shit like language models,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
No, I don't do any. I'm just learning basic programming now.
Oh yeah, you just started.
The first year, yeah.
No, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to learn all about the binary and you know all the bits and all the fucking
No, yeah.
the
I
IP
mean,
address shit and yeah.
Dude, if like we ever had sentient automata like an AI, do you think we'd have to give them rights like people?
I doubt it.
Like, would
I
you?
mean, I don't think they actually do. So if they are, yeah.
Wait, if they're like sentient, you'd give them rights?
Oh yeah,
Like what? What
because
kind of
they're
rights?
sentient. The right to have an opinion, the right to express that opinion. Basically, normal human rights. I guess.
Wait, just because they're sentient?
And because they're intelligent.
Ah. Wait.
Yeah.
That seems kind of problematic. Like, if they were less intelligent, would it be okay to like subjugate them and not let them express themselves?
If they were what?
If
If
they
they're
were
intelligent, what?
if they were like much less intelligent, would it be okay to subjugate them and then not let them express themselves or have any rights at all because of their lack of intelligence?
Well, I guess we do that.
Yeah, we do that to animals, I
Like we,
guess, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, it seems odd to the discrepancy to be like intelligence and like there's some sort of threshold of intelligence where you're afforded rights, and then some sort of threshold where underneath that you're no longer afforded rights. Like it seems
I
like
guess it's because we can kind of relate to them and empathize with them. I don't know. What?
that makes sense. But if they have the capacity in that they experience life no differently as a unintelligent automata and an intelligent. Well, they wouldn't be automata; they'd be sentient. But as an unintelligent sentient AI, as a versus a more intelligent sentient AI, the base like life experience is similar despite their the discrepancy in intelligence. And so, like, I know that like I know the reasons why. It's probably because we can't relate to them, etc. But it just seems odd to like kind of like sideline them based on intelligence, despite the
Yeah.
having an experience that we value and can empathize with. Like we know what it's like to be sentient.
Well, I don't know why we actually choose to value people more, value things more when they're intelligent. I mean, I don't know why. I guess it's just because like we value their experience less than ours, or we see them as less valuable as we are because they're less aware of
Oh,
themselves.
I
I don't
really
know.
hope not. That's kind of screwed up, right?
It's very interesting. I have no idea why they do it.
Like, yeah, I guess like if given this conversation, if you were running like an AI company and your AI became sentient, like regardless of like let's say it became sentient and it had an intelligence that's like under some threshold that you have where you wouldn't afford it rights, like would you still like feel motivated to not afford it rights, or like would you like value that base experience of sentience at all?
Hmm. Like if I had no rights and I wasn't, it was because I wasn't like intelligent.
No, sorry. So Dino, you're running an AI company, right? And one day you're
Yeah.
coming into work and they're like, "Oh my God, Dino, there's a fiasco. The AI became sentient, but the AI is like kind of stupid still. Like it's not very intelligent. Like it's under a threshold of intelligence where like you, Dino, wouldn't give it rights. Like in this previous
Yeah.
conversation, um, I'm asking like, would you not afford it rights just given its base sentience, like the fact that it has an experience of life, the fact that it is like now aware and having an experience other than like like just like making electrical processes over and over again.
Well, I would definitely, personally, I would treat it well, but I don't think anyone else would. Like, I would use services that have AI that like because I feel like it's a lot of like it would be a lot of convenience to give up. Hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's like
But
what's more
well,
important, the convenience or like respecting the like before you said we ought to respect and allow them to express their opinions and have opinions in general and have rights analogous to
yeah,
human beings. But it seems as
yeah,
though when it's convenient though, like like you're able to disregard like those things that you'd value.
yeah.
That's
No,
unfortunate.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, I'd say I'd say this is for a lot of things. Um,
Oh yeah, this is definitely true of
like
the world, very commonly.
yeah, like animals, for example, um, being treated as or being killed and gassed and electrocuted and having holes dug into their stomachs and all of tortured, in general by meat companies, and
Yeah. Are
we
you?
still actually,
I. I mean, I'm vegan. Like, I don't really
yeah,
like for those reasons. I don't like, uh, you know, like if I was running the AI company, I would afford the AI rights. If I have money and I make the decision between buying a dead animal and buying plants, and I can choose between paying for somebody to get stabbed holes in its stomach and its ears and have its teeth pulled out and its legs broken and have its like wing snap, etc., or just like have a plant chopped down, like I'll choose that. And like all this to say is that like we have the the power and the ability to make decisions such that we respect the lives and sentient experiences of others. And it's not
definitely.
we're not helpless like with meat. Like you would say, like you said, everybody does like meat, everybody does eat meat. I would entirely agree with that, but we also have the ability not to. We also have the ability not to treat that AI like an automata and treat it like an individual. And I think we should make
Yeah, but,
choices that are more respectful, that would result in a better world. And we have the ability, man. We got to do it.
I mean, definitely we do have the ability. I get that. But it's like it's a lot of effort to actually do that, and many people disagree with veganism and like actually not eating meat at all. However, a lot of people, now a lot of scientists are making like this new synthetic meat, and I imagine that once it's out, it's probably going to be for a lot of like it's going to be very, very cheap, and that would be a good alternative for meat if it actually served the same nutritions. And when that happens, I feel like that is the only way to actually stop animal slaughtering. Like I don't see any other way to do it. Like if I stop eating meat right now, personally, I'm just gonna be one of the billions that stopped eating meat, and that is no longer like there are other billion people that are gonna still eat meat, and it's not gonna stop on me. They're still gonna kill animals, and they're still gonna do all of the things that they do regardless.
Yo, what's up, boys?
Hello,
Yeah, I would just
but
ask you,
it's gonna.
would you be principled
Huh?
in any other situation? Like in any other situation where there's like some sort of harm being propagated, would you look at the harm and look at the ability to stop contributing to this harm in any other instance and say, well, I'm only going to be one of X amount of people who stop doing this, and it's not going to end this. So,
I do
just
that.
continue living my life as it is. Like, can you think of any other examples in history where you could make such a choice, or you could also make the choice to, like, not continue supporting that harm?
I'm not the kind of person that like donates to a bigger cause or like stops doing something because of a bigger cause. I really don't value these things much, I
Well, if
guess.
it's,
Like
I would say there must be some things that are really important. Like, I'm sure there's some things that you'd be very principled about. Like, I don't think you would
how
support like genocide, for example. I think that's like very obvious, right? Like
No, that's fair. But
even if it was a bigger cause or like something that's like the mainstream thing, I think that's something that you would support inherently because you're a good person and you know that it's wrong to
but
kill people for no reason. So what I'm
but I
getting
still
at is
do.
like, excuse me,
Like I kind of still, I guess, do in a sense
do what?
because
I'm not understanding. I'm sorry.
like I do support companies, or I do have the tendency to support companies that would potentially fund genocide and war,
Mhm.
and I do that consciously because I still feel like it's a lot of convenience to give up. Like, for example, with the Gaza and the what is it called, the Gaza-Israel war, a lot of the people in my country are not paying certain companies because they know that it funds like the war, and I don't really participate in that. I just like I would do it anyway if I could, and I don't see a reason not to because how I would contribute is going to be very, very, very little, and I'm going to get a lot of benefit from it. So I see it as I see it as actually just deciding to do that, help myself.
Um, just to understand like where your value of convenience versus like your value of maybe like the experiences of others lies.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a hypothetical question?
yeah, of course.
So, if you go to the store and you buy a product from one of these companies, and when you check out and you swipe your card, there's a Palestinian kid who gets shot in the head, would it still be like convenience that you value more, or would that be motivating enough not to make such purchases?
No, that would definitely be motivating enough not to make purchases. But how I see it is whether I swipe my card or not, that Palestinian kid is going to get shot in the head because the funds, the money that they have is enough to continue the war for
Absolutely.
much, much longer than we
I
fund it. So I don't see
I
a point
I
in
agree
not
with
doing.
that. The motivation is that that kid is not getting shot in the head because of you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't feel like he is. I feel like he's going to get shot because of the soldier shooting him in the head,
Right, and so
which
when you don't swipe your card, there's less like there's one less kid that gets shot in the head as a result of somebody making a purchase. So you ought not make that purchase such that a kid won't get shot in the head. Do you understand?
I don't think that's an actual
It's a hypothetical
like I wouldn't
question
say
to be. I don't know where
a
you're getting that from.
ratio.
A what?
Like let's say I spend I don't know if that's like a fair ratio. Like
Well,
one swipe
it's
of a
just a
card.
it's just a
One.
hypothetical question. It is just to
Oh,
elicit the most. I'm not saying every time you swipe a card a kid dies. Like that would be ridiculous to say, and I also don't know any sort of like empirical data to suggest that that is true. All I'm saying is hypothetically, I'm trying to understand like when it really comes down to it, when there's a life on the line, do you choose convenience versus the life? And it seems like in principle you will always choose life over your convenience, or you ought to choose life over your convenience in dire situations. Um,
yeah, no, definitely. If it
so
was a 1-to-1 ratio, I would never
when
buy
when you
anything.
when you say yeah, absolutely, but I don't know. So like I guess then the question is like when are you comfortable? Like what ratio are you comfortable with? And you say you make these purchases consciously, so are you aware of like is there some sort of ratio that you have, and do you know like is there some sort of
Yeah, I get.
estimation as to like how like and I'm being a bit facetious here, like I don't actually expect you to know any of these things, but it seems odd to say like one child dying wrong, but like a fraction of a child like maybe like starving to death as a result of my purchases is something I'm okay with because of convenience. That seems really odd.
No, I definitely get you. I have a very clear ratio for me, and
What
it
is your
is
ratio? I'm curious, and I'm curious how you got to it.
yeah, sure. Um, my ratio is it's more of a question really. Like if I buy this thing, is it gonna make a difference? And if the answer is yes, then I would buy it. I wouldn't buy it. If the answer is no, then I would buy it. Like, is the war gonna get less aggressive if I stop buying from this company? If the answer is yes, then I would stop. If the answer is no, then I wouldn't stop.
Mashallah.
Because
So
I'm,
let's take it back to
yeah,
veganism. This is a
yeah,
one to one thing, right? So when you make a purchase, somebody dies.
yeah.
Why why ought you not stop doing that? Given that that's the case, do you not? Do you value
Veganism?
the
I don't
yeah?
really
Do you value the convenience more than their lives? Do you value the convenience
more
more than their lives, Dino?
animals life.
Yes, 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 yes. So like in these purchases, like when like this is an analogous situation, right? Given when it's a human
Yeah,
being, you choose convenience, but let's say now there's a instead of a Palestinian child, it's a cow getting shot in the head, which is very realistic. That's what happens to them. Um,
yeah, no, definitely.
is that an unmotivating situation then?
Yeah, it feels like. See, here's the thing. It's not that I would value having a meal over killing a cow. It's more of like a. I guess it's like when I eat the meat, I'm not associating it with a dead cow. I'm just associating it with food. Like I'm eating food. And
Yeah, that's
the thing
interesting.
is,
Okay.
with veganism, yeah, when I think of like a vegan diet, I'm thinking of like high fat, unstable protein, all of these things. And I don't know, I don't feel like I think of like inability to eat out with friends in a lot of occasions. I think of like pickiness in finding certain food, and I think of wanting to like put more effort into making different foods that aren't available for me, which is I feel like personally I I feel like having that lifestyle is worth taking like some cows' lives, because
Mhm.
I don't want to do all of these things for the rest of my life and still have cows dying if I do it. I guess that's how I see it,
Yeah,
which would be very
I
unempathetic.
I respect your answer. I would say like, can I just want to like let you know what I'm about to do so it doesn't offend you. I want to like parallel this to what we spoke about before, where you said
Yeah, of course.
when it's 1-1 and there's a Palestinian child, you would choose their life over your convenience because their life is inherently valuable. Like I presume that that's your case, that's your reasoning. Like the lives of these individuals are inherently valuable, regardless of your convenience. And so, um, shoot, there's a lot of
It's
background
not
Wait,
noise.
really
hello.
regardless. Hello,
Oh my
welcome.
god, am I no women? I like some women. Okay, sorry, I
No,
shouldn't say
no
that.
women. It's okay. It's okay. No women here.
It's like,
We've been talking about a very serious topic. So I don't
what?
know.
Talking
Right.
about what? What?
We're
Talking
talking
about
philosophy.
what?
Philosophy mainly. I
Philosophy? Oh
Yeah,
my
this is
god, I like
philosophy.
some philosophy. I didn't know